Hello guys, it's me, Sins. As you saw in the last live stream, if you actually got to the end, we had beat Pontiff Sullivan, and so I had tried to fight the dancer multiple times beforehand. To no avail. Just got mad and angry, so. But, so in my own time, without live streaming, I kind of just decided to go and attempt it myself. And here you guys will actually get to see my attempt. You guys are about to see my first attempt that I had done. Sorry about that. I just woke up not too long ago. So, of course, the easiest bonfire to get to the dancer would be from Vorts. It's just a straight dash across. And, well, the run there proved to sometimes be more challenging than the actual boss, and see that happened a lot. And of course, you know, I'm very inexperienced with fighting the dancer. Of course, my form gets a lot better the more I fight her. I stop panic dodging so much, which is a big no-no with this boss. If you panic dodge, it's like that with anything in Dark Souls 3. Panic dodging is just like the worst idea that you can do. But I was really confident in this run, because I had thought I was doing so good, and then of course she entered the second phase, and then I got hit, and then I get scared because of how much damage she deals. And the thing is, if you get off of her, it's real hard to kind of get back in and do the fight. But I came really close. And of course, you know, I pinned myself against the wall here, quite literally. And so I winded up dying, which is fine. But the next couple of clips are going to be really sped up because these are just more failed attempts. I decided to include the failed attempts in just, you know, because again, if I was live streaming, obviously you'd see all the failed attempts. Because this is not a boss guide for the dancer. This is more so of me kind of just doing a post commentary after the fight. So most of these deaths, though, will be the grab attack, because that is the most lethal attack that she has, in my opinion, at a low HP pool. And I was mainly doing this fight to get some experience with her in my soul level 1 run. But obviously, you know, if it took me this many times with a bandit knife, you can imagine how long it's going to take me with like a sword. But I'm hoping that at least the short sword has better scaling and would do more overall damage. But so now, of course, this is just one of the more longer attempts, so that's why it's going on for so long. Because I did have some pretty good attempts, but unfortunately, just because you have good attempts does not mean anything. As you can see here, I got her down. Bleed was proccing pretty well. Around this point, I had 30 luck, so I was about to hit the soft cap for bleed build up, which is 40. So yeah, but it was still me getting roll catched and everything else. The fight was not fun. I had actually gotten very angry around this point and have said some very mean things. Well, if you watch my live streams, you understand how I get when I do this. I got very upset because, as I said, I never had a problem with the dancer in my previous Dark Souls 3 playthroughs. But this was like the first time I had a genuine issue with her. To be fair, this is probably because I fought her way too early, because I typically go the natural route the couple of times I played Dark Souls 3. But, you know, this time I just really wanted to do it early so I can get those chunks to get a higher level you know, dagger. I really wanted to do it before Pontiff Sullivan, but didn't happen. But as you can see here, she's basically just kicking my ass constantly, without fail. But what do you expect that happens? But yeah, the shield's totally useless on the Thief class, by the way. So if you're ever going to do a starting equipment only, Thief is... I recommend Thief for the more experienced players in Dark Souls 3. But around this point, I was really regretting not picking the Knight, because I feel like the Knight would have been a superior choice for this as starting out. But when I do challenge runs, I try and make myself as uncomfortable as possible, so it forces me to play the game differently. And typically at the end of these challenge runs, I typically view the game more differently. Because my strategy in Dark Souls is a lot of HP, a lot of endurance, big weapon go swoosh. And, well, you're not a good player if that's all you do. Like, you know, you're not a good player if that's all you do. And my thing is, I want to be a good player, so challenge runs are a great way to get yourself out of that comfort zone. Plus, people like the Backlogs, Yamfa, Press Continue, I think is what his name is, really, I guess, inspired me to do my own challenge runs. Of course, not on the scale that they're doing it. They're obviously better at the game and have more time and put more research into it than I do, but, you know, I figured I would just start out with baby steps with Soul Level 1 and then, you know, move up like I did Club Only. Now I'm doing Starting Equipment Only, which Starting Equipment can be a pretty rough challenge, especially when you get some mad drip that you really want to wear. Yeah, that's me in this run, by the way. I get all this drip and I can't even wear it. Even though there is a loophole in my rules about armor, because I never really stated that I need armor. I think I stated it at the beginning of the stream, but I don't think I stated it in the comments. Not comments, but the description. So I got to go back and edit that. But yeah, so the next 3 attempts that you are about to see are 3 attempts back to back that got insanely close to actually beating her. And at this point, I was so fed up that I just two-handed the dagger. Which you lose out on swings, but it's still the same build-up. It's just the dagger will not go as fast, and it won't proc as fast. Or so I thought. But around this time, you can really see me, like, kind of learning her movesets. And going through first phase with, like, a little problem. But of course, I'll boil that down more to RNG than my actual skill. Because again, I did get insanely lucky with all these bleeding procs. Yeah, see, that attack threw me for a loop because I ain't never seen her do that in first phase. So I was like, okay. And around this point, I typically learned how to dodge the grab attack. And as you can see, in the previous attempts, you know, obviously they were sped up because, well, they're boring to watch, and this video would have been like 28 minutes. So I think a 13-minute video out of a 28-minute video is a bit better. So around this time, you know, I was really getting it. As you can see, she was staggering and stuff more often. So I think two-handing did help with that. But it was so small that I don't think it really mattered. And as you can see, she got right there. But I got greedy and I shouldn't have backed away like I did, and I probably would have actually got it. But yeah, I started panic dodging, and that's where I get that panic dodging is like the worst thing you can do. In Dark Souls 1 and 2, panic dodging kind of works a little bit, but you still get punished for it, especially bosses that have delayed movesets, so like they follow you. Makes it a pain in the ass, but around this time, I don't know why my controller was up that high. I think I was just mad. But this is definitely an interesting boss fight. It really put my skills to the test, especially with memorization and, you know, trying to calm down. Because if you guys saw on the stream, which I'm thinking about adding timestamps though in the streams, like when I do boss fights and for important moments, so like you don't have to wind up. Because while I typically do not stream for like 7+ hours like I did last time, I also got caught up in the game. So, but yeah. So this is the second attempt. I'd like to say the second attempt was a bit more smooth because she was not that aggressive in first phase, and when she was aggressive, it was pretty easy to dodge. But I'm pretty sure I still got hit at least some. Like I highly doubt I no hit first phase. I probably did. As you can tell, I'm kind of like, this is post commentary, and I'm kind of watching it as I'm commentating. So yeah. See, when she does that, that is like the prime opportunity to apply at least some bleed. But from what I've noticed, after she pulls out the sword, she always does the... And you can kind of punish it a little bit, but still wouldn't recommend doing it. See, now that attack I did not know actually damaged you. I thought that was a buff, so that's kind of why I stayed there. But of course, that move is pretty simple. Just watching this, I can just feel the rage again. And that, I didn't even really know why it hit me. I'm pretty sure it was... I know it was obviously an attack that hit me, but at the time I was like, oh, what was that? But yeah. So the reason why I'm commentating over the entire 13 minutes is just because it would help break up, I guess, the silence or something. So... Again, this is kind of like part 2.5 before we actually get to the third part. But since this is a pre-uploaded video, you know, yeah. It's very weird because, like, if you don't watch my streams, but you watch the preloaded videos, like, you're not really going to understand what's happening because you kind of have to watch the streams. Not in their entirety, though. But that's why I'm thinking about adding timestamps for important bosses and stuff. But this is the last attempt. This is the attempt where I actually got it. And I'm going to be completely honest, this was just all RNG based. Like, this was not skill that made me win. It was just the fact that, like, the moose she was doing was just so easy to, like, go up, like, so easy to go against. And she staggered so much during this fight. As you can see, she already staggered twice so far. So, of course, I always try and punish that move, because... yeah, and at this point, I had realized, hey, that does damage, so I kind of just rolled away. Let's see. She does insane amount of damage at low HP characters. So, while the boss isn't too bad on, like, end-game characters, which is typically when you fight her, because dark and deep infused. Well, I prefer dark, personally, for scaling, but some people prefer deep because of the lack of scaling. Which makes perfect sense, because I actually had a deep dagger. If you watch the stream, you'll know I utilized a deep dagger for that dark damage, which, didn't really matter. But as you can see here, I'm kind of starting to panic a little bit, so now I'm just kind of like, okay, well, I just got to kill her. And I stunned her, actually, that last bit. So without stunning her, it wouldn't have happened. And therefore, I beat the dance.